Joining us now to talk about the Holy Father's continued journey is John Allen, editor of Crux. Hi, John.
Hey, Christine.
Nice to see you again. So this visit to Lac Ste goes with the theme of the Pope's whole trip, healing and reconciliation. The Holy Father's actions seem to be well received, but there are some Indigenous who say they don't think his efforts will change anything. Do you think healing is taking place?
My perception is that up to this point, in general, I think there has been satisfaction for what the Pope has said, particularly the apologies that he has delivered. I also think there are a lot of people in the Indigenous community who are saying, as important as that apology is, we want to see what it means. That is, what action will follow.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody has an opinion, and there's been controversy over the headdress. On Tuesday, a chief and residential school survivor gave the Pope a headdress and placed it on his head, but it struck a nerve with some in the Indigenous community. Do you think the negative attention surrounding that is taking away from the significance of the gesture?
It is not at all surprising that a gesture, which was obviously intended to be sort of affectionate, from one elder to another in a way, because it was one of the elders who had met with the Pope earlier in the trip who put the headdress on his head. It's not surprising that there are some Indigenous who are not entirely comfortable with it. Those headdresses aren't just like something you take off the shelf. Each of the feathers there are supposed to have significance. They represent acts of bravery, acts of courage, acts of compassion. They're supposed to be earned, and I think there are some Indigenous who think, hey, they haven't been earned yet. But I don't think we should lose sight of the mammoth historical transition in terms of the role and the aims of the Catholic Church that all this represents.
Right. All right, getting back to the lake, which is obviously significant to the Indigenous people, but it's also significant to Pope Francis. How do you think his love of creation, which we see in his encyclical Laudato Si, is represented in events like this one?
Well, I don't think we should forget that for Indigenous cultures, and this certainly includes the Indigenous peoples of Canada, reverence for the earth, for creation, is a kind of, if you'll pardon the pun, cardinal virtue. And the fact that this Pope is himself such an ardent environmentalist, such an ardent champion of care of creation, I think that plays extremely well with his hosts, in part because it is so obviously sincere. This isn't just a rhetorical one-off that he kind of adopted for the Canada trip.
Okay, so much to talk to. I'm sure we'll catch up with you again this week. John Allen, editor of Crux, thanks for being here.
Anytime, Christine.
Hi, I'm Christine Persichetti, anchor of Currents News. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button on this video. And if you want to see more content just like it, subscribe and click on the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching, because we are putting your faith in the news.